Okay, morning music talks. So, this is all spontaneous, it's unplanned. Feel free to join in, ask questions, make comments. So, being a musician, what level are you at? I saw this guy on YouTube recently, and man, he's so talented. He's like a living Beethoven or Chopin. And now, if you're a serious musician, you ever see people like this, I want to tell you something. Celebrate their talent. Don't ever be jealous. Be happy for them. There's different levels of talent, and don't compare yourself to them. If you go, oh man, how come I didn't have that talent? How come I'm not successful like that? No, don't think like that. Be happy for what you're at and where you're at. Doesn't matter what level. And if you're an older musician, I want to encourage you to keep going because, if you study a little bit about neurology and brain scans, the technology they have now, if they show brain scans of different activities, somebody playing chess, someone doing gymnastics, someone doing this or that. Now, if they show the brain scan of someone just listening to music, the brain is just going off. It's like fireworks. They show it firing off left and right. But, check this out. When they do brain scans of someone playing a musical instrument, it's the highest level. Not only are these things firing off, whatever they're called, but there's the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, and there's like a bridge, but there's a connection, and there's no fireworks greater than brain scans that they have of people doing playing instruments. So, where am I going with this? Well, if you're an older musician, this is anti-Alzheimer's fighting tools. So, no matter how, even if you don't consider yourself a serious musician, just do it for that health benefit. And, even if you're not serious or whatever, playing some music at Christmas time, home gatherings, church, whatever you do down at the beach, it's going to bring some joy to you. It's going to have several benefits for you. It will give you some structure in your life. It will give you that mental health benefit and other things. So, let's talk about practicing. If practicing your instrument is the most important thing to practice correctly, there's nothing more important on it. Because if you're not practicing correctly, you're just spinning your wheels. So I'm going to give you some guidelines. This is something that I've thought about my whole life as a musician, or most of it as a musician, is how to practice efficiently, how to get the maximum out of a half hour. And if you practice only a half hour a day, and that's the minimum, if you're not doing that, you're not going to really ever see much progress, if any. So here's how to practice for a half hour and get the maximum done. Break it down into 3 10-minute units. Now, the most important thing you should always be working on is songs. Being able to play simple songs from beginning to end. Songs that people, oh yeah, Old MacDonald had a farm, happy birthday, silent night, whatever, something they can relate to. That's what people want to hear. So songs should always be the number one thing, priority for you. Because everything else, technique, studying chords, harmony, theory, it all leads to the end goal is playing songs. So if you're not playing songs, you're missing the whole thing. Because some people can get so wrapped up into technique, scales, harmony, exercises. So, 10 minutes on songs, 10 minutes on harmony and theory, learning new chords and studying harmony. And then 3, technique. 5-finger exercises, some scales, And that's it. You do that, you can't go wrong. Alright, so, I live in Thailand, if I haven't told you. So I'm going to start doing this series regularly. I don't know if it's going to be daily or a few times a week, but it's going to be morning music talks. And a lot of times it'll just be spontaneous, silly coffee drink, and then sometimes it'll be more focused on topics. So for this one, feel free to get involved, leave comments. Tell me what you want to talk about. We can talk about anything. So myself, I've studied all my life. My mom taught me how to read music when I was 3 years old away from the piano. I grew up basically studying traditional music education, which would be reading music, playing classical music, handing, exercise, journey. So I know the music reading school well. Then later I got serious. I had a teacher from Juilliard, and I started studying Chopin's etudes, and I fell in love with those. And then after that, I always had a goal of being a studio musician. So I went to the Dick Grove. I knew I had to learn how to improvise. So I went to the Dick Grove School of Music, studied jazz, and learned how to improvise. I went there for 2 years. And so I know both schools, so we can talk about anything, really. And I studied composing and arranging music for film and television. So we can talk about composing, songwriting, harmony, theory, technique, classical music, jazz standards, improvising, pop music, anything you want practically. I've owned 3 recording studios, and I have one now in Thailand. So almost anything we can talk about. So you guys let me know. Okay, I'm gonna get into my morning exercises and routines. I'm repairing a damaged left hand, a finger issue. I had carpal tunnel years ago, and so I had endoscopic surgery. And so it did something funny to this index finger. It's never been the same. So I have to make extra effort to repair this hand. So I'm doing it with Chopin's etudes in slow motion, which to me is like the Mount Everest of piano technique, and it's the most brilliant work I've ever seen. All right, so that's going to be it for today's discussion. God bless you. Have a great day. Learn, practice, stay healthy.